Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
It's Monday, May 6th. Your horoscope is someone's going to fart in the room you're in, and she has 4 legs, and she just came in, and she's looking around because she knows she's talking about her.
Oh, my God, it came true.
Yep.
I was on a work call earlier, and I had to be like, guys, this face I'm making is not you. It's my dog.
Oh, she did it to you during work,
She
too.
did it during work. You've never done that before, young
That's like
lady.
a good excuse to use from now on if you make a face at a coworker. It's like, oh.
My dog. She farted in the room.
If you're a first-time listener, this is the studio we record in is also Amy's office for a day job. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I use this as my hangout spot. Yeah, Night of the Living podcast. You're here. We're here. Freddy's here.
I'm here.
Andy's here.
I'm here, I guess.
He's here, kind of.
And I'm here. I'm Amy. Welcome to the show. Today we are starting the new theme. New month, new theme.
Theme is phone-based movies, horror movies.
Yes.
And we're calling it Boo Phone Who Dis.
Boo Phone Who Dis.
And I apologize for that pun.
I think
Bouffon.
it's great.
It reminds me of a bouffant hairdo.
Mm-hmm.
If people don't know, it's a play on New Phone Who Dis.
Yeah,
I mean, we try to make it scary by calling it Boo Phone.
And Andy tried to make it contemporary by choosing a meme that was less than 20 years old.
But who is phone? Who is phone?
But who is phone? We could have
Boo
done,
is phone.
You could have done Boo is phone. That would have been less. Who is phone is a great meme, but it's also, I think, less identifiable.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's from a Reddit creepy pasta, I think.
Freddy is what he told me about.
And it's written in kind of broken English. And you know how they're like the moment in the Hook story where they're like in there from the door handle hung the hook. In this story, that line is, then who is phone?
So it's like almost like AI wrote it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. You should read it sometime.
Early versions of.
Then everybody stands up and says, I am phone.
I am Phonicus.
Phone. Boo Phone Who Dis. I'm very excited. We're going to talk about 976 Evil today. Freddy Krueger himself. Robert Englund's directorial debut.
I was questioning this whole theme. Like, it's very dated, right? Because are phones so scary?
You know, they're scarier than ever, Andy.
Yeah.
Because they're not right now with the
destroying
controversy
all of our mental health.
over TikTok.
But that's different. TikTok is not phone, though.
It is, though.
Well,
I know we watch it on our phone, but I'm talking about the scary part of getting a phone call and not knowing who it is. And
Oh,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's definitely a thing of the past.
yes.
I miss that feeling, though, because
Yeah, so it's like
it was exciting.
People don't understand landlines and receivers and not getting reception. I mean, that's still a thing, not getting reception, but it's not as prevalent. It's not as big of a problem anymore.
You're talking about reception on the old cell phones?
No, like
Or wireless
the
phones?
wireless phones.
The in-home wireless phone device.
Yeah, and not having a phone on you at all times.
Yeah.
Listen, is it scary? I don't know. But when you are used to having reception everywhere, and then these kids get out in the middle of the forest and they're trying to get a signal by holding their phone up in the air because they need 911, that's pretty goddamn scary.
I mean, at this point, the only thing scary to me about phones is answering it.
Yeah, I know.
Because I let it go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, I screen every call that comes into my phone.
I mean, if I don't recognize the number, that's the only. If I recognize the number, I'll pick up.
Yeah.
Like if it says Amy's calling or Freddie's calling.
Well,
Or
sure.
976 Evil
Yeah.
is calling.
Or 976 Evil.
I don't think I'll pick up for that.
No? You get powers, though. Every
Area
time
code 666.
But the only stressful thing about phones is actually talking to people on the. Talking
Oh,
to
you
people
don't get
anymore.
stressed from text messages?
No, because
I do.
I know who they're coming from, and
Oh,
I know they're not.
It's not generalized,
Yeah.
like just the doom and gloom of a mental illness kind of
Yeah.
thing when you get a text message.
I hate getting text messages because it's just something I'm going to have to look at and think of a response to.
Well, also like text messages, like the anxiety comes from: do I respond now? because it seems too so desperate.
Oh, wow.
Like responding right away.
I've been real bad.
You're a deep pool of crazy, aren't you? I love it.
Like the more withdrawn I've become in my middle age, which I'm fighting against. I really am. It's not evident because I will not answer a text message from some people for days. That's not how I used to be.
Yeah.
It goes to show you that like there's still power in the phone to make you feel like there's some evil in it.
So, but like this is anxiety as opposed to fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the 70s and 80s and like earlier than that when the phones were a thing, even up to the 90s, phones were scarier, weren't they?
Without caller ID,
Remember-
they were very scary.
We had, I probably had a Nokia at this point. We're talking like 2006, 2005,
The brick,
2006. Yeah,
they
my little
called it.
brick.
Yeah.
Probably still works if you have it.
I don't, but you're right. It's probably ringing right now in a landfill. The
Some
battery is
people-
not dead.
Keep them to play Snake on, I've heard.
I didn't like Snake that much. So I was working a job that was making me miserable, and that was calling me at all hours even when I wasn't there. And so I gave it a special ringtone. And so every time I heard that ringtone,
Yeah, your heart starts racing.
like you break out a sweat, you just like shit a little, you piss a little, your whole body
Yeah.
just breaks down. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, God, no.
I was a late cell phone adopter. I don't know if you remember that, but I worked for the bank,
Yeah.
the mysterious big bank, and they forced me. Eventually, they're like, "You have to have a cell phone."
Crazy, huh?
Did they pay for it?
No.
No, they sure didn't.
So they said you have to have this, but we ain't doing nothing.
Right. That was my argument too. I said, "Well, give me a raise." They did eventually give me a raise, but at the time, they made me get a cell phone. They forced me to do it.
And also, are ringtones still a thing?
I mean, where was I the other day and somebody's phone was going off and it was like something talking, like mom,
Oh yeah, the gimmick.
just like a gimmick ringtone. And those people I kind of want to punch.
Yeah.
Although I missed the in the golden age of landlines, the answering machine tapes that were celebrities. I always enjoyed that.
Answering machines were fun. You can still do that in your own
Yeah.
personal voicemail, but it's
Well,
not
yeah,
as-
cameos. I think they do that as part of like the cameo service. To
Oh, really?
record
You
your
can get somebody-
voicemail. I think so.
Who would you get?
Now,
Yeah,
the same people I would have gotten in 1986.
Hulk Hogan.
There would be not anymore knowing what I know about Hulk Hogan. Mr. T is still yes.
I would find the cheapest person.
Probably Michael J. Fox.
And I just want to throw them a bone too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like you see, like I don't know about cameos, but I'm sure there are some that get a lot more
Oh yeah, they get
than
pricey.
others.
You're talking about like a second tier
No,
Family
just
Matters
say-
actor.
Just say that. Okay, it's like a mini Topicana question.
Yeah.
Which is our other show we put on the feed. If money was no object, money and ethics were no object, I'd get O.J. Simpson. No, who would you have do your voicemail message?
Do they have to be alive?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like,
Damn it!
who was the dead one you were going to pick?
Like Vincent Price or something.
Oh, shit. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. Well, would you
Yeah.
get Bill Hader doing Vincent Price?
Sure, if he would do that.
Because that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get Frank Kelly and do John Madden. No, I wouldn't.
Well, right now, like if money and ethics are no issue,
You'd be
I
like,
don't know. Just if I was trolling somebody, I'll get like Putin or something.
Oh, really? Mine's James Earl Jones, I think.
Is he dead?
No, he's still alive.
Oh, good for him.
I would say I want it to be the real killer of John Benet Ramsey. Poof, then you know who it is when they show
damn.
up.
But they don't show up. You just
set
get a
him up.
mysterious recording.
You're right.
And what if it's the same voice that you heard playing on Andy's message and you realize that Bill Hader killed her?
Oh no.
Dun dun dun.
I want Kate Mulgrew
Oh, that's a
as
good one.
Janeway doing my outgoing message on my voicemail.
And she would say like, "There's crack rock cocaine in that nebula."
Hell yeah. She sure
I don't
would.
know. Do I want to give celebrities more money?
Only if you want. I mean, I
They
want
don't really have
to
necessarily
give-
have that much money, Andy.
not all of them.
Celebrity does not mean wealth necessarily.
Well, I'm talking about like these
Working
if-
celebrities.
When Amy says like, if money and ethics weren't an
Which
issue, like,
trashy reality
Yeah.
star?
Yeah.
Now let's do that game.
What about Alf? Is that guy still alive that voiced Alf? That'd be a fun voicemail.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any of the cartoon voices from the 80s would be great.
Cool.
He-Man.
Who is a celebrity that hates the spotlight? I would just force them to
Who wrote Catcher in the Rye?
be my monkey for me.
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember his name right now.
What is the guy's name who wrote Catcher in the Rye?
Steinbeck, right? Not Steinbeck.
No. He's notoriously
I've read it.
hides from people.
Yeah.
I know
People are
it's
screaming
Holden
right now.
Caulfield's the hero, but the writer is
Screaming right now.
damn. It's really eluding me.
Is Jodie Foster.
Jodie
No. Although, man, we already talked about
J.D. Salinger.
Thank you. I knew it was a Joe.
Andy. You just don't know.
Okay, so
Thank you.
thank you, Andy. Real quick, need to talk about Patreon, patreon.com/NOTLP. As well, all of our bonus stuff is, and you get access to our Discord, and you come to our meetups and all this stuff. Bonus content has been few and far between. It has slowed down, despite every time me going, it's gonna get better, guys. Don't you worry. I'm full of shit.
To be fair to you, you just took a promotion at your day job.
Yeah.
And you took on being the full-time producer of these shows within 2 weeks of each other, I think.
Well, no, I mean, I'm taking care of my mom right now.
Taking care of your mom.
And taking care of you.
On top of everything else. I would argue that we take care of each other. Andy would eat Amy. Amy would eat just cans of beans. If I left her, it would look like a Fallout game.
Freddie
in his house.
You're a great husband. You win.
Do you think that you mix up your bean choice or just the same kind of beans?
It'd be black beans. I know it.
No, I would go black, then red, then black, then red.
Yeah.
And maybe some navies in there.
What about some limas or?
I do love a lima. Yeah. I'm a bean fan all the way. Throw a bean at me. I like it.
What is considered? What is the Great Northern Bean?
Isn't it a white bean?
It's just a white bean. I think it's like a navy bean.
Is that the same thing as a navy bean?
You know what? Man. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Is it the same thing as butter bean?
Aren't they isn't lima bean the white bean?
It's a very grand name for a bean, I feel.
It is. Great.
I hate beans.
You're wrong.
I hate them. I fucking hate. I eat them sometimes because I know they're good for me.
What about Mr. Bean?
I love Mr. Bean.
Refried beans?
I'll eat refried beans.
Your dog whose nickname is Beans?
And I will eat, like, if I get a Chipotle, I'll get some beans on there sometimes just because the poop factor.
What about toe beans? Those are adorable.
What are toe beans?
My cats. You look at their little paws. They look, and I always look at little Pippi. My mom has a cat, and I look at Pippi's little toe beans.
I love little cat beans. Oh man,
cats' toes don't smell like fucking Doritos.
Amy's mom's cat is diabetic.
Talking to you, Elsa.
And she has to wear a sensor like a person does. Like I wear one. I'm diabetic. In case you're listening and you're like, oh my god, you don't sound diabetic. I am. I've been diabetic for a long time, and I wear a little sensor on my body.
Well, we'll put you on the spot. What does a diabetic sound like?
Whoa, diabetics usually sound like this. No, but
like Wilford Brimley does.
Wilford Brimley, yeah,
like
the standard diabetic
talking
voice.
like it's a chore to talk.
Yeah, like,
you can hear the sugar in their breath.
Yeah. Life is really hard if you're diabetic, but
a very breathy voice,
the sound of the pancreas screaming,
an exhausted voice,
very exhausted, just world weary from managing a chronic illness every day for every meal of your life. No, but her cat has it, Pippi. The poor creature doesn't deserve it, but she also gets to wear a sensor like mine that she chews off, which leads to shirts, which leads to cones, which leads to giving up.
We've given up.
Now we're just gonna it's a lot of.
What's this? We're my cancer-stricken mother has to deal with this. I don't live with that cat.
It's true. She's taking it in for blood glucose tests.
I know. Cancer-stricken. This cat has the fucking audacity
to
develop diabetes.
Feline diabetes and human cancer.
God damn audacity.
Well, you can lead a cat to diabetes medicine, but you can't make it drink.
Can't make it inject itself. Yeah. That's for fucking sure.
No.
It's like that's on the cat.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with that cat. I looked at that cat in its eyes and I said, dude, she's going through some shit right now. Get your shit together. And she still chewed it off.
Amy gave the cat insulin though. Pippi.
I have given Pippi insulin.
Yeah. And she's cool. Pippi's taking it.
Yeah, she's taking it like a champ.
She doesn't get upset. It doesn't seem to hurt her.
So anyway, back to patreon.com/LP. We're, bear with us.
Yeah.
Things might be a little scattershot till I can find some equilibrium. And these boys have offered so much help, and I'm refusing to take it because that's how I do it.
To be fair,
you're like the cat that refuses to take his.
I chewed off your fucking sensor. I was like, no.
the sense of openness, like I had some major mental health issues my whole life that are now I'm learning to deal with. And that is the main reason that we had this last minute shift back to where the show really was in the beginning. Right.
Yeah.
So it was a lot to shift back to you all at once.
Yeah.
But you've been doing awesome.
Except for my minor explosive public meltdown that I had this weekend.
But
we're
behind you.
Fine now. Nobody died.
Nobody died.
Nobody died.
Yeah.
Not because
that's a Patreon exclusive.
That is, I will tell that story.
What Amy did.
I will 100%. If you're on the meetup this week,
And,
at the meetup, you're going to tell it?
you're going to hear.
We'll go to the store and say, like, do you got that video footage?
Aw.
They might.
Ooh, you might be on public freakout soon.
I hope so.
Oh, a black and white video of a shattering of a very weird esoteric sculpture.
It's for the
Oh,
meetup.
we'll talk about it later.
It's a thing. I carry
I feel like that's sometimes the only thing keeping me in check, the fear of being on the
100%.
Oh, really? What about you get caught shoplifting from like a craft shop and they're like, is this you? And you're just stuffing beads in your
You
Andy.
guys are misinterpreting
Andy.
me stealing as shoplifting.
It's Andy's mental illness.
No, I go there and break things at Hobby Lobby
Well, yeah.
and
Yeah,
buy things and return half of it.
Good.
that makes sense.
Hobby Lobby deserves it.
That's not like 5-finger discount. That's slick.
Yeah.
This boy over here.
And it's only
Criminal.
at Hobby Lobby. 'Cause I'm sticking it to them.
I
They have
understand-
terrible
I understand
politics.
your protests.
In spite of their wide selection, I have to go there sometimes.
I don't endorse it,
But,
neither does the show, but I sure do understand why you
balances
do
out.
it.
Oh, of course not. If there's any lawyers listening, absolutely not.
What are they going to do? Come after me?
And how you know any of this is real?
The
He's doing a bit.
$1.50 of
They
damage
how
you've
can
done.
they? How can they prove it too?
Doing a bit.
They'll
not real.
prove it, Andy. They're going to sniff you out.
Yeah,
they're
they-
going to send the best of the best.
They don't listen to this show. It's the mark of the devil.
That's right.
The devil.
They don't got barcodes.
Yeah.
Barcodes are mark of the beast, from what I've heard.
So what if you buy
whatever.
something with tax, it inadvertently equals 666? Are they going to let you?
I was at McDonald's one time, and that was my total. And like the lady wouldn't say it. She just turned the screen toward me and said, like, "There's your total." I'm not saying that.
I think I remember you telling me that
It's like,
story. That's why that
really?
I
came to
worked with
mind.
someone who would always put something else on the bill.
Yeah. Like I was in front of behind some lady that did that one time. Like it rang up like, add this on.
Yeah,
Just
gum. They'll grab the gum.
Yeah.
You'll see. Like if you pay attention, you're like me. Do you stare at the people in front of you in line?
Well, I always look at what they buy. 'cause
Hey, I'm always
busy.
checking it out.
I'm looking to see how they're paying,
Yeah.
if they're being nice to the cashier, if they're just buying generally weird combinations of stuff. I'm not judging anybody, but I am like deeply, deeply fascinated with what other people buy.
Cool.
Aren't you?
Yes,
You're
absolutely.
Like, there's some Mentos, and
Well,
then you got some anabolic,
you ever
something
look
or
at
other for
your shit?
weightlifting.
And you're like, what is this saying about me?
Well, it's easy. It's toilet paper and Doritos.
Most of it is those people have edibles at home. Like
Yeah.
that's what you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that,
It's Italian ice.
yeah, we are into the Italian ice. Andy, Luigi's Italian ice.
Sorry.
Are you a fan?
It was good when you did the one you gave me. Good serving size.
We are all up
Good,
in it.
It's a healthier than ice cream, but
We're
we
all
still
up in
do
it.
the ice cream.
But I've seen you guys go back for second and third, so that
Yeah,
that
we're
one
messes.
serving size
Yeah,
I know.
is
thing.
kind of negated.
Yeah,
We're
the serving
messes.
size is a pointless thing.
It's a suggestion.
It's our refrigerator is pretty close to our couch, so
Everything in this house is
our
close.
house is really small.
So before we move on to 976 Evil, who wants to kind of give us the breakdown? Because I'm really confused. What exactly is going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar? Go.
Well, Andy, I don't know if you know anything, but I sure do.
I'm just joking. You don't really have to explain this to me.
You're asking the wrong people because
I know
like,
that's the funny joke. What the fuck would we know?
I can
I
tell
mean-
you about Manhunt.
It is all over the internet.
I mean,
though.
I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar's music.
Me
But
too.
I don't know about this beef.
I don't care about Drake. Never have.
Like-
although I was a Degrassi fan.
You liked Drake's first album when it came out.
What?
Just rap? Yeah, you did.
I have never been like a Drake fan.
You weren't a fan, but I thought you were big into that first album.
You might be thinking Childish Gambino, but certainly not Drake.
Okay. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that on advisement.
Yeah, it's incorrect.
Yeah, I'll strike it from the record.
Anyway, Andy, go on.
So what was I just don't. It's like it's just not my field of expertise.
No.
Is,
At all.
rat beefs. I don't know about
But they're going in on each other, which I find fascinating, like on their children. Because, hey, I watch a lot of Housewives. And on the Housewives, you don't talk about the children. You don't bring the children up. You don't talk about anybody's mamas or their kids.
That's just good. That's good manners.
They do it anyway.
It's funny that there's like rules and beefs. Go for it. If it's like, don't come for me because I'll go below the belt.
Oh, like
I'll come for your dead mama.
yeah.
Oh, you could say that another way and it would sound really sexual and really gross, like way worse than what you even said. He said he would come for your dead mama.
The line that struck me is when Kendrick Lamar addressed Drake's son in the lyrics and said, "I'm sorry that man is your father." Is like,
well, that's not about the son. It's about
no, you're
Drake,
right,
yeah.
but that's like
It's not saying like Drake's son ugly or something.
and the pedophile stuff. Like we all knew that.
Super a hateful thing to say in general.
No,
but
I liked it though. I recognize that's a whole level of petty that I aspire to.
Game recognized game.
Yep.
really, you aspire to be that way.
Well, it's good
Who
that
did I
they're,
marry?
I was going to burn down the building of the place where I had my meltdown, Freddie. You remember me telling you that over and over and over and over again.
You're scaring me now.
Okay. I'm not gonna. Of course not. I don't feel that way
she
anymore.
got beef with that store.
I have
She
beef.
do. Do the
When's
Fat
your
Boys
when's your
ever
diss track coming out
have
in?
beef?
Any minute now, we're dropping it.
Run DMC ever beef with anybody?
I don't know.
Beastie Boys.
I don't know.
That was before my time.
Too
I was
short,
like
dude.
5 and 8 when that came out.
Yeah,
I was a wee lad.
I love.
But I'm
Fat
glad
Boys.
that Kendrick and Drake are leaving it at words as opposed to a Biggie and Tupac. And
Oh yeah, all that stuff.
see,
Who knows?
that's the beefs we're used to.
Did the rapping granny beef with anybody? Probably that. Where's the beef lady?
It's in the name. It's beef.
Yeah, that's where the beef is
It's like,
between the two
I'll
of
show you
them.
where the beef is. It's right here, bitch.
Yeah, I got your beef.
For some reason, like I was trying to come up with like funny rappers that might be funny to like riff on this with you.
Sure.
And my mind immediately went to the Micro Machines guy. Remember those commercials?
Did he rap?
No, but he talked really fast.
He really did talk super fast. You're not wrong.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, youngins, Google Micro Machines commercials.
He was known for that. He was like kind of like before they would speed up. Like they didn't artificially.
No, he was
just
fast.
spoke that fast.
Does he have like a world record or something?
Yeah, he did then. I don't know. Somebody beat it. Oh,
Still alive?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
He belongs in a museum.
But
His vocal cords.
celebrity beefs, love it.
It's a good time. Because it's like the stakes are not mine.
Beef steaks. It's like we're playing that game, that New York Times game.
Maybe
where
they're
it's up to match.
maybe they're both of them are cahoots with the beef industry.
Oh, keeping beef alive.
Yeah,
Whoa.
because
Maybe.
there's all this talk about beef because getting people hungry.
You know.
You know, man, I've eaten so much beef lately. I'm making chicken tonight.
Is that what you feel like?
I feel like it, and I'm doing it. I marinated in Italian dressing and make some green beans.
Yeah, and that's probably another joke that people won't get. The
Yeah.
I feel
Google
like
it.
chicken tonight.
Chicken tonight. Chicken tonight was just the sauce, right?
It was the laziest meal you can think of. You just take some chicken, pour some sauce over it.
It was a jar of
Summer.
sauce.
Yeah.
My mom had a doctor recently that did not know who Keith Richards was. They were that young. The doctor.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
No, I didn't like it. All right. How'd we do?
We
You
did
ready to move
fine.
on?
You know, we're not letting go of the generational stuff, but we're doing
Never. We never will. As we
Yeah.
age, it gets worse.
Remember we used to pick on older people for this sort of stuff.
We used to have fun.
Remember that?
No. All right. Ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I hope you got the hard one.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
I keep wanting Amy to play the hard one.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
I don't have the proper file for the
You need
song
the
to
hard
play.
one. Give me the
you
hard
keep
one.
telling me you're going to send it to me.
It's in there. You just gotta search for it. It's a hard one.
Okay.
Let's play hard.
Here's the deal. 976 Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
You know, we were talking about beefs earlier. I got beef with this movie.
Oh yeah.
Got beef with Robert England now. What they call? He's my op. Is that
Yeah.
what they call it? Say it now.
I've never heard that.
You're
Opposite? Is that what that means?
Oppositional partner.
Yeah, it's like it's your enemy. That's what they call it the kids are calling them ops now, right?
Wow. Donkey Kong to your Jumpman, so to speak.
This was a bad movie.
It is a bad
by
movie.
every stretch of the imagination. Like, no, listen, it starts off hard and good. Like, yeah.
First, for like 5-10 minutes, maybe I was excited.
I think the first third.
It reminded me like an episode of Tales from the Crypt or something.
Yeah, or more. I think it's almost more appropriate to compare it to like Tales from the Dark Side or the monsters because the quality is more like.
No, I'm talking about the tone and everything. It felt very Tales from the Crypt-y to me, like from like the acting and the visuals
And the sexiness, for sure.
Like the first couple, like it's like, oh, he's a good director, but then I feel like the script let him down a lot.
Oh yeah. Or see, I wrote in here. I have looking at my notes here. Either the script just sucked balls, but the guy who wrote this went on to win an Oscar.
Really?
Yeah, he's a really good writer.
He won the Oscar for. Hold on, I wrote it down somewhere. L.A. Confidential.
Yeah, he adapted that and another book.
Well, I guess you got to
Mystic River.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But exactly. And so it's like either the script let him down or chopping this movie up.
The random Tennessee Williams
Did
shit
it.
that was in there
Yeah.
is great, though. Like, that shit's hilarious.
It's like
Or the Billie Jean music video.
The Billie
Yeah.
Jean music video riff.
it didn't really need to be a movie. The idea of this,
There's
in
a
the
lot of
first
style
place,
thrown together.
like if I don't even a haunted number you call.
Yeah.
Can you make a movie out of that?
Can I
think you
confess to
could.
you? I was 10 years old when I saw this, and I thought it was terrifying. But like, I do get as an adult that was just stupid 10-year-old eyes that understood that. Like, it's a pretty fucking just a dumb fucking movie in general. But it is like dying for the riff tracks people to do it.
Oh my God.
It has so much
I need it.
potential for that.
I mean, I feel it was a very thin idea in the first place, but you had to flesh it out somehow, and they didn't do a good job of
No.
fleshing anything out.
The good stuff, though, Stephen Geoffreys,
Cincinnati's own.
I think he's awesome.
He
in
was a
everything
very
he does.
dedicated performance, regardless of
He did it all. He put it all in. He did it, and it's done.
He threw himself in everything. And, we
Him-
talked about in the past that he did
Yeah.
adult film work, but like that
Yeah.
guy's a legit talent.
Yeah.
him and the aunt. I mean, his mother.
Well, that was
Sandy Dennis.
Sandy Dennis.
They were the only ones that gave an effort at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, Spike really. And then we started to watch the sequel, which I fell asleep during, which is my thing.
I felt this is not one of Sandy Dennis's better performances, though. I mean, like she was fine,
The
but
movie
like
is not good.
the movie. But also, there was a lot of moments that felt like
But
settling on
I
takes
feel like she gave an
from
effort,
her.
though.
She
Yeah.
did, definitely. But there was stuff that just felt like maybe she was expensive or something, and they're like, you're going to get the third or the second or third take, and you're not going to get much more out of her than that.
It's essentially like selling your soul to the devil to get something you want, is basically what you're doing. By calling the number, you're basically saying, hey, devil, I'm opting in. And then he increasingly gives you cool shit till you become a demon or something.
What are you supposed to give back in return, though?
You're
I
supposed
don't
to
understand
follow
that.
his
I
instructions.
think
regardless of what it is?
It can live in you. It inhabits you. It
Yeah.
possesses you.
There's
and then
a-
it lives outside of the...
There's a movie they did more recently where this was done via text, and it was like dares. It was dares they kept, but every
Yeah.
time the person would do whatever it said, they would get like money in the bank.
Right.
And this is kind of similar, except instead of that, every time you get the call, you do what the call says.
It
exactly.
wasn't conveyed very well. What?
Oh, well,
No.
Keep in
The
mind, I've
story-
seen this 5 times now, so I'm ready
The
to answer
story-
questions.
Like things Freddie and I talked about, there's no connective tissue to anything. Things just happen. You're not even sure why.
Because I didn't see anybody progressively get what they wanted.
Barely.
Yeah.
Well, so that it opens.
There's no exposition.
It opens with a guy who is just like constantly harassed by ringing phones everywhere, and I was like, relatable. Don't you feel sometimes it's like, phone, shut up?
It's like an X-Files cold open.
And he gets exploded out of a phone booth because it's something bad because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. But you got to do the thing.
Yeah, you can't resist. If you start resisting, then you get little shocks.
And same thing happened to that lady just walking down the street.
Yeah, she was. She thought she kicked it. She burned
Yeah.
the card even.
But I
Yeah.
was just confused about what the person on the other end was trying to make her do. Is it because she didn't do what?
You don't know.
Yeah.
All you know is she's resisting it, and that's why she dies.
And like, she was eyeballing this window display of shoes and phones. It was phones.
It was
It was
the
fun-
A window display of all phones.
It was a shoe phone.
phone mart.
Yeah, it was Phone Mart, and there was a shoe phone
It was the same as her shoes.
that was like her shoes. But then the whole window display explodes and kills
Everything
her.
explodes
Yeah.
and kills.
A lot of yeeting in this movie.
There was so much eating.
You're not wrong.
I love yeeting in movies.
I mean,
and I just love saying yeet.
I don't really know what it means, honestly.
Just throwing somebody.
Just throwing
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
compliment sandwich, although I think we've started by shitting on it. So opposite of a compliment sandwich. Loved the color palette.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
I feel like Robert Englund was very influenced by Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, the series,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
The later movies.
yeah, but like it looked like a Freddy's Dream.
Yep.
Yeah. It looked more like Nightmare 3
Cheap.
than
Yeah,
like,
like
fog
3, 4,
machines.
5, like
Yeah.
everything. It looked
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
well, just
like
colorful though.
yeah,
Neon.
but like the it was like everything was grimy, like especially the diner scene with that waitress.
And I'm wondering if that's the
Yeah.
same.
That felt like a nightmare waitress.
Did you watch Nightmare Cafe, the TV series? Like, I wonder if that's Robert Englund was the star of that. He narrated it, but I think he directed some of them too. But I think it might be the same diner he used on the TV show too. It's about the same time.
And even down to the high school, it was very Nightmare on Elm
Graffiti
Street.
and like, yeah,
Oh, the high school was a little almost something out of like Cabrini Green.
it was weird.
It had all the heavily graffiti, but there's a whole crime racket run by like sophomores or juniors
Run
in high school or something.
By the neighborhood toughs with a boy George twist.
Yeah, well, they're every fucking trend.
Yeah.
They represent Robert Englund's like, we're going to get every teen trend in this one gang.
Yeah.
And they're going to have this weird Salacious Crumb style little girl that hangs around them that plays strip poker with them that never speaks.
Crumb.
That was kind of gross.
It was gross.
They're playing poker.
They're not good guys.
Yeah, it was very like pimp, like they were pimps and like
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like she was like a hoe.
You expect Travis Bickle to come in and shoot
Yeah.
everybody at any minute. And I think that's what he's going for, was that kind of vibe, was like that.
But it was so like I don't know, gentle.
Well, they weren't real bad to each other necessarily, but they were complete monsters to anybody that wasn't like in their circle.
Yeah, they were
But
torturing
yeah.
a hoax.
But they were
It
so
was Stephen
cartoony
Geoffreys.
that they weren't really scary, you know.
Right.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of cartooniness.
The movie's very cartoony. in general.
They're playing poker. Spike loses, and then he's supposed to give his motorcycle. Spike is
He's supposed to be
our protagonist.
He's the cool cousin.
He is made of cottage cheese, mashed potatoes, other bland white things.
He
I
lives
don't know.
with Hoax and Hoax's mom because his mom is dead, I think. And
Hoax. What kind of name is Hoax?
Is it a nickname? It has to be.
Never said anything about it.
No, they
Said
never
his name was
explain
Hoax.
it. Well, his name was Evil in Fright Night, the actor.
Okay.
So like he's played a character named Evil, a character
Hoax.
named Hoax, and then I don't know what his porn characters' names
Well,
were. They might have continued the
Wouldn't you
theme.
like to know?
Yeah,
You can find out on IMDb.
you can.
Yeah, weird. So Hoax lives at home with Sandy Dennis.
his overbearing religious mother.
Plastic covered furniture. I mean,
Which is a setup for a joke way later in the movie.
because she's the kind of lady that has plastic all over
But she
everything.
also doesn't want stuff to get on the plastic.
It's all a mess. She's not well.
She wants the furniture covered, but she also wants the covers clean.
Have you ever had experience with plastic covered furniture?
Yes, it was very popular in the 80s.
Yeah.
Very
can't really
very
remember.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it sucked.
Like
Big
maybe
time.
once or
Super
twice.
thick.
I visited somewhere, but I always felt like that was a fancy thing, and I didn't know any fancy people.
No, it was more of like in our
It
neighborhood.
seemed like it was fancy.
It was, you're protecting this couch so that your grandchildren can
Yeah,
inherit it.
Right.
it wasn't a fun place. Like if you saw plastic furniture, you know you're not having fun that day.
Why
No.
did somebody come up with that? It's awful. It's just an awful. Why won't we? Why?
I might get the idea
Why?
of it behind it. Like you want to protect your
Yeah, but are you
furniture,
enjoying your furniture
No.
at that point?
Use the thing. You don't buy something that is so precious to you that you can't even use it.
And the worst part is like when it got yellowed.
Oh, the
Yeah.
plastic would
Yeah.
get yellow. But the beauty of that is you take it off, you get a fresh coat of
but
plastic, and it's fine underneath.
they didn't realize that you need to replace the plastic once it got yellowed.
Yeah.
Or sort of crack.
Yeah, it defeats the. You'd have a beautiful piece of furniture with a yellowed, cracking plastic coffin sarcophagus thing
And
around
actually,
it.
like keeping something wrapped up like that is like actually bad for the fabric.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That makes sense.
Is it because like moisture can't get out?
It's like I don't something like that, but it
Can't
just breaks
breathe.
down in the plastic.
It can't breathe.
I'll tell you, man. My furniture gets some use. It gets worn down.
Well, that everything in our lives is disposable. We'll just get another one.
I made an effort to put things that last a long time in this house. This table, for instance, where you all sit around, solid wood,
Yeah. Okay.
metal legs.
Back to the movie.
Look better with some plastic on it.
It would.
So Spike is there and he's stealing food from them or money. Money
From the fish jar.
from the fish jar.
But he's been calling the number, right?
He called the number first before he went to steal money, right? The number he just kind of had in his jacket pocket. I don't know where he got it from, but it says, call this number for your horoscope.
I think he found it in a magazine.
Oh.
But he didn't really get anything.
He didn't really go far
Yeah.
into it. And then he goes to steal the money. He gets caught. Sandy Dennis, Spike, and Hoax are outside. And then it just starts raining fish.
And when you say steal the money, you should know that apparently his entire inheritance is in cash in Sandy Dennis's house.
Yes.
And she's been trusted to take care of it until he's 18. And that she is going to spend it however she sees fit.
Yep.
Cash that was given to her by his deceased mom. How much is it? We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was confused about the raining fish scene. But is it because that's Spike's windfall? That's his reward from calling the number? And then
But how's it a reward?
because he stole money from the fish jar, and so it rained fish on him by accident.
I wonder why it rained. Like what his thought process in writing.
I
that
was
scene
worried
was.
I just wasn't paying attention.
No, it was confusing.
I bet you there's a fucking scene in the script that
It
got
need-
cut out.
Yeah, probably, but it needed that to happen to serve her calling Modern Miracles magazine, right?
To bring the dude there.
To bring the dude. So really, the only reason that scene even happens with the fish, which I think something very similar happened in the novel of Carrie, and I think that's what he's riffing on is something from the
Right.
Carrie book, and
I think
but it uses just her to call the magazine.
I think maybe it was showing that the calling the number does work.
But who's watching this going, oh, those are linked together in some way? The phone call he made and the fish raining down.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm just trying to
No, I get
connect the
it.
dots.
Could be God. It could literally be like a biblical thing where, like, this major evil thing is happening. God has sent fishes to her because she's like a righteous character or something.
All right, anyway.
Who
Modern
knows?
Miracle magazine. Do you think that's he's really with that magazine, or is he just a PI that's
He's definitely with Modern Miracle magazine, I want to say, and I want to say they dressed him as a PI because it's more interesting, and he is seriously fucking hilarious as a comedic actor.
They just threw this character in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just forgot about him.
yeah.
Like Spike
Yes.
and this guy and the lady that
randomly shows
That
up and is
shows up.
important in the end too?
like
Yeah.
they just throw these characters in,
Yeah.
and then we forget about them and they show up again.
Yeah, and you really do forget they exist.
yeah.
And then you're stuck stopping the movie and looking at the person with you again 5 times, seen it 5 times, and you're like, wait a minute, how did we get to this point? Who is this person?
Every time he shows up, and no matter how many times you see it, it's still a surprise.
Who is this motherfucker?
It was the woman who was the partner to the Modern Miracles guy.
And then
Yeah.
we're supposed to care about them at the end.
She's like a teacher.
How I don't care what happens to you. I
No.
don't.
Oh yeah, she said
You
she
were
was
barely
like an
in
advice-
this movie.
It's like I don't know you.
Well, they're also even hugging each other in the background, so their survival is treated as background material.
Yeah.
Like it's not even they're not even given a close up hug or a moment of dialogue. They hug
don't
each
even-
other in the background.
I don't even know their names.
Yeah, Modern
Boo-boo
Miracles
and
guy.
Baba. The bathroom where Bad Boy George holds court, it has a lot of graffiti on it, and some of it says "Eat pussy more often."
Yeah.
and I say correct.
There was another
That's
thing.
good advice. That's not graffiti. That's a PSA.
Hey, that's just helping the world out.
There was R and N too, which was a reference to Robert Englund and he met his wife Nancy on the film.
Oh.
And the set decorators realized that they were kind of falling for each other, so they added graffiti in there about them.
Oh, Robert Englund fell in love on this movie.
Yeah,
Oh, never mind. I love this movie.
So something
sweet.
good came out of this.
yeah. Honestly, no. This movie, I have a soft spot for 976 Evil because
too.
of nostalgia
Yeah,
and because of Stephen Geoffreys. He
Cincinnati's own.
did not make enough movies, in my opinion.
He went to Cincinnati Country Day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we just passed that recently.
Interesting bathroom too. A whole lack of stalls. It's like just open toilets that you're supposed to shit on.
They're for
Shit in an open
swirling.
toilet.
Those are special swirly toilets.
No doors.
But like, if I saw that and I needed shit, I just turn toe and leave.
Shit my
Like,
pants.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not letting people watch me shit.
You know what though, man? I have shit in some pretty desperate scenarios. I think I could do it. If
I mean,
had
if it
to.
was desperate, but like,
yeah.
if I saw like just open stalls.
Oh, what if you had a
With
would you
no
rather,
door.
right? Would you
Okay.
rather
All right.
shit in the worst toilet from Scotland from Train Spotting?
There's privacy there though.
The destroyed bathroom from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, or
Oh,
this
it's a
toilet?
nice bathroom.
The Ace Ventura one's the one I would do. Despite all the
I have to
water.
have privacy. Yeah, Ace Ventura.
I can hover.
At least it's clean. Isn't there a shark in there too?
I don't know.
There might be a shark in the Ace
I'd
Ventura
honestly
I need
deal
a-
with a shark.
I need a door.
bathroom.
I need a door.
Yeah.
Privacy for pooping. Listen, I have pooped in front of my husband here. We have done that in front of each other.
Not ritualistically.
In necessity, when necessity struck,
We share one bathroom.
we did it.
And time, sometimes there's time constraints. We've been married for 20, how many years?
Carry the one.
21.
20 years. 21 years.
21 years.
Anyway, sometimes you got to poop in front of
Our
somebody.
marriage can drink. It can
But
handle
that's
pooping in
it.
front of someone.
This is the only person I will ever, outside of my mother and my husband. That's it.
Does anybody out there, no shame on anybody, if you feel like you're like, I'm going to shit in front of somebody, I think that's awesome. Really, it's a construct that we're shamed for doing it. But does anybody play games with it? Like they hang over the toilet and they're like, who
No.
make a bigger splash? I just want to know from couples out there listening. Maybe it's best.
I'm not
left
yucking
alone.
your
How do you judge how big the splash is?
A little sound
The
meter.
sound or how
Yeah.
much water splashes on your back of your leg?
It's too hard to measure the water in a
Yeah.
home bathroom situation, so I think microphones would be the way to go.
And then you have the public help.
But sometimes like the sound can be deceiving
Yeah.
because like you can have a little pellet that comes out with a lot of force
Wow.
as opposed to just a
Makes more noise,
a
though?
big.
It
No,
could.
talking about
Has
splash.
anyone ever
Velocity
chat?
will.
Yeah.
It sounds like a silenced pistol from an action movie.
All right, so back to the movie. I wrote here, that's a nice sex chair. And I want that chair.
It was a good
Not
sex
for
chair.
sex, and although that looked like it helped.
It did. It was a dentist chair.
It's a nice chair.
And the guy had it in his, he worked in he was a projectionist, I guess, right?
Spike?
Spike.
I don't know.
They were hanging out in this projectionist booth a lot.
Him and
playing cards.
Susie. Susie was his girlfriend, and they were on the chair.
It was a very nice theater too.
Mm-hmm.
That's another compliment.
Was it?
Yeah,
It was. I don't
Yeah,
know that it was
yeah.
supposed to be though.
the outside of it, like a
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very classic.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I love that sort of thing. But the impression I get is this was almost like Skid Row
Yeah.
that they were on with this theater.
Down on skid.
Down on skid.
Which is confusing because don't they insinuate that Hoax's house is right across the street from the movie theater that his cousin works at? Because he's spying on them from his room, right?
Well, the whole makeup of the house is confusing.
Freddie, I don't
because
know. I don't know.
I don't know where Spike's room was in relation to Hoax's room because they had this tube,
Yeah,
a
the
connecting
pneumatic tube.
thing.
Pneumatic tube,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like that at the banks. They had one of those, but I don't know how things got to because there wasn't like pressure or anything. It was just
Well, pneumatic tubes, they're you use
No,
them at the
but, like,
library.
air.
But this
a
one,
vacuum.
It was just there wasn't like a
It was.
seal or
It
anything.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't sealed on the end, so it wouldn't have worked.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was just a tube.
It was just an open
Hey,
tube.
Robert Englund, some of us
Whoops.
understand
They,
physics.
they missed a little tech detail. I see what you're saying because there was never a close to have enough suction
Yeah.
that he would have to open it to pull the canister
Like the only
out.
thing that would work out would be gravity.
You got a blooper there, Andy.
That's the only thing that would send things from Hoax's room to
Oh, it's a
Spike's
goof.
room.
You got to add it to goofs on IMDb.
You gotta add it to the goofs.
But I got the idea that Spike lived in a different section of the house, like in
Yeah,
the
like
garage or
maybe it, like,
something.
yeah,
Jutted out from somewhere.
I think that's a prejudice we all have from Arthur Fonzarelli.
I just it was very like an Escher house or
It's
something.
prejudice.
It's an over the garage prejudice
Yeah.
that TV has given us with George Utley and Arthur Fonzarelli. These characters who live graciously above the nicer homes, garages of the 80s.
That'd be my dream.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
No responsibilities at all.
Great line from this movie, Susie, who Hoax is trying to seduce, even though it's his cousin Spike's girl. She says, when I'm mad, and then you wait for it to flip over to a later time when they're at a restaurant now.
Yeah.
I eat, and then she chews on her
She
pizza.
finishes the line out. What we can only assume if they were
an hour later.
if they were
least.
standing outside the pizza restaurant and she said, "When I get mad," it was mad. Mm-hmm. When I get mad. Now let's walk over here to the pizza restaurant. Let's order a pizza. Okay, I'm gonna get a Pepsi. Did you want a medium or a large? I think I could do a medium. Let's get a medium Pepsi, a large pizza. You want garlic knots? Garlic knots. All right, where do you want to sit?
It's very comic booky.
Yeah.
Where they start one thought and the next frame.
Yes.
They finish the thought and they're in the next scene.
Yeah, and now she's like, I eat.
But like I'm like, same, Susie, same.
I just wanted to see Hoax be like, you what? What? And she's like, oh, I just finished that sentence from before when we were outside.
So the Tufts had given swirlies to Hoax before, which Spike saved him from. Now they're rubbing an entire slice of pizza all over his face. Would you rather swirly or pizza on the face?
Pizza. 100%.
There's no doo-doo on pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Not ideally.
Unless you order doo-doo pizza.
I really thought the pizza was so disgusting, and I couldn't even articulate why.
It was degrading, but it was like, I feel like it was kind of equally degrading to
True.
have your face shoved in a toilet. It was just degrading.
And like you can wipe, it's like you don't get wet from pizza.
You get greasy.
Yeah.
You just get greasy.
You get
And
garlicky
again,
and
there's
buttery.
no pee-pee poo-poo involved.
I
in
wasn't
pizza.
thinking about the pee-pee poo-poo. I should have been.
Yeah, it was weird that you chose the swirly over that. Would you rather have food near your mouth?
Yeah, I feel like those would you rather scenarios, it has to be like a tough choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
But-
not thinking, bro.
Yeah.
When pee poo poo is involved, that's
It's a big
always
no.
the answer that you don't choose.
Yeah. Like, that's just biological. Your body should tell you that.
Have you ever gotten a swirly? Anyone here?
No, but I've had someone check a basketball covered in shit at me.
I know. We've talked about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Human, I think. Gross.
Great. I wrote. It occurred to me that 976 evil, because Hoax starts calling it because he finds Susie's underwear and he finds the card. It's radicalizing him. It's turning him into an incel. It's 4channing him.
Yeah, so
Directly, though.
976 evil is kind of like a metaphor for Andrew Tate.
Could be.
Well, it's the devil, right? Didn't they? I mean, ultimately, you find out this is really just the fucking devil running it.
Yeah.
So did Hoax call the number, and then after that, is that when Susie became interested in him?
I think the number told him to go and meet her,
Yeah.
knowing
Okay.
she was pissed off at Spike.
Okay.
Because it's the devil and he knows everything. And knowing that if he got in there right now, maybe he'd have a chance.
So
He
that was
nice.
kind of his reward a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Susie.
This was how it was buttering him up.
It's a
And then-
carrot and stick thing.
Yeah.
But what didn't he do to make Susie die?
What did he do? He did a ritual
Yeah,
that
but-
he didn't know was going to kill her.
That was confusing.
Yes.
Because
Where did he learn the fucking
Did
ritual?
the number make
They
him?
cut that out, apparently.
Did the number make him do the ritual?
Apparently, the number gave him a recipe for a ritual that involves a tarantula. His aunts used tea bags.
Yeah.
And a lot of candles and a pentagram maybe on the floor. I can't remember what
Pentagram
he did
on the floor,
It was
for
pentagram.
sure.
So he has the candles going. He is squeezing these damp tea bags on the tarantula, which magically does a Mogwai multiplication thing, and now he has 100 tarantulas.
He teabagged a spider.
He teabagged that spider.
Yeah. He
And then they
teabagged the
all
spider.
teleported.
But what
to
was
Susie's.
the end game of this ritual?
To scare her, you thought.
He was mad because she
Oh.
told him. She got mad at him.
Because he stole her
Oh,
panties.
so this
He had her
was,
panties.
This was confusing to me.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to punish her because there was a scene earlier where she said she was scared of spiders, so he was
Yeah.
trying to
Yes.
scare her again.
He was trying to scare her, but he ended up killing her by
He was
accident.
punishing her
that-
for rejecting him, basically.
That was very confusing.
That
Well,
was the,
yeah.
that was the nail in the coffin that turned Hoax into a fully irredeemable, possessed monster character for the rest of the
But
movie.
that tarantula leg just kind of inching out of that TV dinner, like under, that was fucking cool. Are tarantulas
They're not
venomous?
poisonous. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not venomous.
I was trying to understand what killed her. Was it
like
fear?
a small amount of
Yeah,
venom.
but it's not enough
harmful.
to kill you.
Yeah, it's not like harmful. I don't think.
It's
Maybe
kind
it-
of like in movies where they like show boa constrictors or anacondas as being like venomous.
They're not.
Yeah.
No, they kill you by squeezing you to death.
But I love that she deals with this fucking spider situation dead, and then we don't know if The boyfriend.
There's
knows
never a reaction
at any point.
from Spike.
Yeah, thank
Like
you.
a day or two goes by, like nobody knows she's dead. And he does not seem plussed.
She just like rotting away in her house, maybe?
I guess so.
That's fucking scary as shit.
I don't like that either.
But Hoax knows that she's dead, right? Because he
Yeah,
came to
he
her, he
knows.
came to her window, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he knows he did
Okay.
it. He didn't mean to.
He's remorseful, but he's too far gone to save. Because he keeps at it.
Right. Now, Andy, I apologize. There's going to be a little bit of Star Trek talk. I will keep it brief. Robert Picardo! He was in Gremlins 2. We just saw him. He was, of course, the emergency medical hologram, the doctor, on Star Trek Voyager.
And he was Johnny Cab,
Yeah,
too.
so
wasn't
he runs the call center.
He's the devil,
This
I
was
guess.
a cool. I like this scene though.
Me too.
The call center was so freaking cool.
Where the Modern Miracle guy, he's investigating it,
We come back to him finally.
and he just walks by this call center where there's all these rooms and there's all these different numbers being called. Like there's a sex line where behind the scenes it's just this prim proper lady.
Yeah, in a showcase style. Like he goes from open door to
Yeah.
open door. So they're almost like museum exhibits.
And there's a
of
Santa
976
Santa
numbers.
line. That was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
And
it
each little
a cute
room was
scene.
decorated to match what was going
Yeah,
on
it
in
was
the
a-
room.
This
I
was
thought
a cute scene.
that was
Yeah.
very clever
If you were a
and
kid,
very interesting.
If you were a kid in 1988,
Yeah.
you were fascinated with 976 numbers. And if you weren't, if you say, call me up now, you're like, I wasn't. I knew they were lame in 1988. No, you didn't, you
No,
fucking
you didn't.
liar. Because
I
everybody
always
thought
wanted
they
to
were
call
awesome.
Miss Cleo, and I never got up the guts to.
Call the music video one you could call where
Oh,
they
I did
play the
that.
music
Yeah,
video.
and,
That was awesome.
Every like music artist, like New Kids had one.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
hear a pre-recorded message. Freddy Krueger had one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's I think, and that's what I was trying to figure out if the Freddy 1-900 Freddy number work had already been done before he made this movie, and that's maybe why he made it, or vice versa. But it's amazing. There's a whole economy of 900
Yeah.
numbers back
And
then.
there was one line. It was like the teen talk line. You can talk.
Yep.
They would just connect you with random teens.
Yeah, or you'd be watching like Cheaters, even into the early 2000s. There were still 900 numbers. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember right. And they would be
Party
like,
lines.
Party lines, yeah.
My sister-
Basically, it was just
my sister
fucking-
got in trouble because she ran up a big bill doing those
Oh,
teen
really?
talk lines.
It's like chat roulette is the
It
modern
was like
equivalent,
$2
I
a
think.
minute.
it's crazy
A
what
minute.
they were allowed to do,
It's wild.
and anybody who had access to the phone could do it.
Well, there's a reason it's illegal now.
I know.
Call me now.
Call me.
Miss
Ro-
Cleo.
Robert Picardo's character, Mark Dark.
Yep. I think that's the name of one of the Dark Brothers porn directors, too.
Yeah, I think there's a character named Hoax. So why is that?
Hoax.
It should be surprised if there's a Mark Dark.
Mark Dark.
Well, this movie was intended to be a comedy. It was
Well,
not
yeah.
just straight horror.
I get
It's
that.
pretty tongue-in-cheek shit.
But it wasn't obvious comedy. It was more like
Yeah, I mean, that was,
unintentional. A lot of it.
well, I mean, a
times.
lot of it was intentional, too, though. I mean, it
But
was...
it wasn't successful. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah,
It
some
wasn't a
of
great
it-
comedy. It wasn't a great horror movie.
Right. Yeah. So, post-pandemic world we live in, the scene where Modern Miracle guy is standing next to Mark Dark, and Mark Dark is sick and like sneezing and coughing and sniffling and just all over the place. I was like, no, like, do you just have a visceral reaction to that shit now when you see it?
I did, but
Like,
also...
we wouldn't do that anymore.
It was more annoying than anything, or more gross than fear-inducing.
Yeah, the sniffling,
Not like fear, but I guess it's just like,
the wetness.
we don't do that anymore. That is just not how you operate in this world. If you're like that, you stay the fuck home now.
But he's also, it does
the most part.
reinforce he's a dirtbag, greedy
is a
character
dirtbag.
who doesn't care about the well-being of the people around him. Like, it tells a lot about the character, really, that he was like, oh, this guy's sick, but he cares more about making money than keeping
But,
his boys healthy.
I was confused about this. The machine, 976 Evil, is run by a machine.
It's like the
Yeah.
first AI. No, it's supposed to be an automated system, so it would answer and speak pre-recorded messages, but it's all like covered in cobwebs because he says it's been defunct for 2 to 3 months. Which would cobwebs have already formed in there?
2
Jesus
to 3
Christ!
months, yeah.
Why? See, if you're a good enough movie, I don't worry about that shit.
So were they trying to do like a Friday the 13th the series type thing where it's like a cursed object?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess.
I mean, Andy, of all TV shows, this is like, I think Friday the 13th, the series is as close as you get.
But
Yeah.
again, that was not very well conveyed. That
Yeah.
No.
this is a.
Well, he's really, but the thing is,
it's just trying to cover his tracks.
Picardo is the devil. Mark Dark is the devil. So why did he even allow the Modern Miracles guy in, unless it was to somehow send him astray on the wrong path?
Maybe.
And even show him this machine.
Show him the machine, at all.
I guess to like throw him off, like it's just a machine.
Just
I don't
to
know what you're
leave it
talking
alone?
about. It isn't
Yeah.
even working. So I don't. This is the dead end. You go away. And I think maybe him being sick was a way to turn him off.
Yeah.
But it's again like what?
No,
I think that may be a Picardo choice. Maybe he was like, maybe I'll play sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just about to reinforce what you were saying.
I
The
love
steel
Robert.
girders. Robert Picardo is
If I
awesome.
ever met him, that'd be cool.
You haven't seen The Howling yet.
I have seen The Howling.
But you didn't know it was Robert Picardo, I guess.
I was not a
back
big
then?
Star Trek fan then, and it's been a long time.
Worth a revisit. He's really good in that. He's actually pretty scary.
And then it ends. There's a lady. I don't remember how it kind of wraps up. He's out there punning. Hoax is now fully the devil. He's got claws
He's a full demon now, right? Or the devil.
or something.
Or,
Pretty much.
And what was his end game?
Sunglasses.
Because the house turns cold.
Well, that's hell freezing over.
And why was that shown?
Why was hell freezing over? Did he say? He said literally blank, 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 and now hell is freezing over because
be.
of whatever it was.
But
It was a joke. It was all it was all set up for a joke. Everything. There's so many things in this movie that are long set up for jokes.
There's lots of quipping.
And why did that lady show up again? The Modern Miracles lady?
The guy.
Well, she was not with Modern Miracles. The guy.
He's a teacher. She's a teacher.
She's from his school. The reporters from Modern Miracles magazine.
Yeah, but I
hooked
thought
up-
they were together.
They were. I think they became a love interest thing that didn't make it to the final cut.
It doesn't matter.
Is what I got.
They were simply. They didn't matter. None of it mattered. They were just there to be something to watch during that last part. I don't know.
But at the end, the hoax was like saying this is Armageddon or something. Was that his end goal to bring the end of the world?
Well, if he's the devil, it's whatever the devil does in the Bible, I guess.
Or is he just fucking with the Modern Miracles and Lady and Spike?
I don't know that anybody knows.
I don't think anybody can answer that question. I don't think even Robert Englund knows the answer to that
Brian
question.
Helgeland might.
He might. I doubt it. He might. He might be like in the original 3-hour cut,
Listen,
comma.
do you think he still
Well,
like
there's
acknowledges it?
There's an England cut out there.
The England cut. Release the England cut of 976 Evil.
Don't.
It's black and white in 5 hours.
I mean, basically, it's over. Then 976 Evil 2. A few years later, Spike's on the road. He's a lone wolf.
Have you seen
He's
the
trying
second
to
I
one?
had no
Fine.
idea there was a sequel.
It's
either.
on
What's going
Prime.
on? It's really not.
So is it more exposition on the devil number? Is he trying to find out what it is and
it's
get
a
revenge?
lot. It's a lot like Wishmaster in the way the Wishmaster series it becomes about the ironic wish fulfillment.
But it's still Spike's involved.
Spike is the thread.
Yeah.
It is just like. Do you remember Vacations de Terror?
Yeah.
And that character who turned up in Vacations de Terror 2 from the first movie. This is the American version of that, where he rides a motorcycle into town with a close up of boots that whoever the second director, by the way, it's Wynorski, right?
yeah, Jim Wynorski.
Who did Chopping Mall, directs the sequel to this. And in the sequel, you get this close up shot of what's his name again? Spike's boots. Close up shot, and you're supposed to. The only reason I recognize him is because we just watched 976 Evil, and there's close-ups of his boots in that movie, and then they open on a close-up like that. The audience, don't worry, they're gonna know it's
So
Spike.
we're supposed to know like this character we'll be able to remember.
You're supposed to remember from the shot of the boot.
You like 976 Evil? You remember Spike's boots? You do.
Yep. So they pan up to Spike's new hairdo, which is the most fucking worked on mess of hair. Like,
Is it spiked?
It's not spiked. He has waves of hair, but they are so carefully carved into wave shapes and stuff.
Freddy was upset.
Dude, it was absurd. And his stubble is perfectly groomed. And he's supposed to be a nomad on the road.
Of all movies to make a sequel out of, that's just very confusing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this a hit or something?
No.
It cost what, $3 million to make it, I think?
Yeah, I think it made like 2 something
Ooh, Elsa.
in the box office. I did feel like Stephen Geoffreys was maybe trying to do a little Joker thing,
Joker wasn't out yet.
like a Jack Nicholson thing.
That
No,
was
it
a
wouldn't have
year
been
before.
out.
Yeah. This
Oh,
was the year
then Jack
before.
Nicholson
Yeah,
took
Because
it.
Stephen Jeffries.
No, was Batman 88 or 89?
89.
Okay. This was the
Yeah.
same year then.
This was 88.
This was 88? Oh, okay.
88.
So then I think Jack Nicholson might have seen this movie because
I
I just
highly
feel
doubt
like
that.
there's something in it that I recognize.
I think naturally they both
Yeah,
have a
maybe.
natural feral nature. So you throw some sunglasses on Jeffrey. What's his name? Stephen Geoffreys.
Yeah.
And his natural kind of like shit-eating grin,
Yeah.
like smirky, like
he plays like
control.
just squirmy little squirm face. Good.
yeah. He's like
I don't know what I mean
Feels
by
like
that.
someone's trying to push him into a display of insects. You know, he's like the insect that won't hold still in some psycho's insect collection, and he's like,
Wow.
That's a lot of his
That
performances.
metaphor is intense.
I love him. I think he's amazing.
I
do. He is so fucking great, man. I don't know if he's well or what's up with him.
He was at Horror Hound not that long
I
ago.
know he was. I didn't get to meet him, but
When I say not that long ago, it could have been 10 years. I don't remember.
just fucking solid actor, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he does one thing, but he does it. He's fucking great at
We
it.
should see if he's on Cameo.
I bet
He might
he
be.
is.
All right.
Fright Night had a huge renaissance because of the remake. A lot of people know who he is again.
Yeah. If this movie was ever to be rewritten, I would love to see somebody actually rewrite it. I mean, redone, remake, then rewrite it.
That would be such a. Could you imagine in this day and age, like
Get with Brian
But
Helgeland.
it wouldn't be a
1-900
number, though.
number movie?
You have to text it or something.
What if it was just a period piece?
You
and
could
it
do
was still the
period piece.
900
like,
number.
text 976 evil.
Is the 1980s set movie a period piece?
Yeah,
I hate you.
Anything can be a period piece.
yeah,
Something could be set in the 2000s and be a period piece.
it's true.
I could have my period right now, and it could be a period
Piece
piece.
period. There it is.
Period.
Period. All right. We did it.
We did it.
Do we know what we're doing next week, or are we still kind of? formulation.
When a stranger calls.
When a Stranger Calls with Carol Kane, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a long
Classic.
time.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but that movie scares the shit out of me. Because I have been a babysitter.
I've been a baby too.
I've
No
been-
one is safe.
I've been a sitter. People sit on me.
And he's a face sitter. He's like, let me clear your space, and then he makes himself the middle of a human centipede.
Not the middle.
Wow.
Stuck in the middle with poo.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Assholes to the front of me. Mouths to my back. Here I am, stuck in
Oh,
the
that-
middle, eat poo.
That song makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, it's really
Wow.
not that.
All right. So at the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP. Freddy, you're going to read it.
Oh, Matt, Funky, thanks for the DoorDash credits. That was really generous. Brian and
I'm working my
Emily.
Wordle.
Jeff L.
You said Branan and Emily. You said Brian.
I said Brian?
Yeah.
I have brain damage. I'm pretty sure. Brandon and Emily.
My handwriting's not good.
Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
Not a great one.
Dr. Brian.
Hello, sir.
Old Dirty Billsterd.
That's my friend.
Bill Fahrner. Blayne Yogurt. Jordash Jeans. You smell that?
No, there's a fruit fly in here.
Oh, fruit fly. I thought you smelled Elsa's fart. The flies were probably drawn by the
Yeah.
fart.
She
Blayne
farted out
Yogurt,
some
we said.
flies.
Jordash Jeans. Nothing comes between me and my Jordash jeans. Monica, Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora. Ernie and Dave.
Thank you so much for your continued support. You
guys are great.
Yeah, when a stranger calls, that's what's happening. That's what's up. Anything else before we go?
I can't wait to talk about a scary movie next week. Oh, I love scary movies.
I need to get out and see some movies. Abigail.
Do it.
Shit. Did you see it yet, Andy?
Not yet, because I'm lazy.
Okay. Maybe we'll go see it together.
We'll take Andy. We'll treat him for all the mental illness stuff.
that he has to deal with.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
When his old